Hey, welcome to Plain Guy AI. I'm going to show you how AI has increased my productivity by 500%. I used to use apps. I used to use to-do apps and scheduling apps. I tried all kinds of them, every one I could get my hands on. I believe that they are now zombie apps, just like Sam Altman and Mark Cuban and many other smart people are saying apps are dead. They just don't know it yet. You're walking around with a phone full of zombie apps in your pocket trying to eat your brain, and almost literally, because I found that these kinds of apps ate my executive function. I would try to be, if you've heard that term, you know that people say multitasking doesn't work because you'll be trying to do one task and then it takes a certain amount of your processing power in your brain to switch to another task. And if you keep trying to switch back and forth from one task to another, it can just eat your brain and eat your day. So that's why schedules have never worked for me. Here's a schedule over here. It says 7 a.m. I'm going to get the boys ready. 8 a.m. I'm going to get them to school. I'm going to go for a run at 8:30. I talked to my ex-wife at 9:30. I was going to work some, row some, get the boys, pick the boys up. All kinds of things I have to do today, right? Schedules where I try to put all the things I have to do into a schedule don't work for me, haven't ever worked for me for the simple reason that I get frustrated. Feel like I'm not accomplishing things. I get to a point in my day where what I'm actually doing does not line up with my schedule, and I end up frustrated and feeling like I'm procrastinating, and I feel like I'm behind my day all day long, and I feel pressured. I don't enjoy it. And then I spend more time trying to update the schedule than I would spend just doing the work. So it really doesn't work for me. Then the to-do list, there's a to-do list over here. Those don't work for me either because it doesn't match the way I work. I don't look at a task. I finally realized this. I don't look at a task and say, let me do that task. What ends up happening is I end up looking at a task and saying, task number 3 on the list, yeah, that one's way too big. That's going to be too hard. I'm going to move that to tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow until one day I'm going to die and task number 3 will never get done because it's too big. So schedules and to-do lists do not match the way I work. They never have. So those apps have always frustrated me, but I never really knew why until I started using Claude Code and I built my own to-do app. And I started out with a schedule on this side and I had a to-do list on this side. And I got this beautiful this week panel over here and this today panel that does not match what I'm going to do next, but matches what I want to finish today. So but what I realized, even after having that, and I link this in with Claude Code, this dashboard links into my phone. I do a daily stand-up with Claude Code where it says, here's what you got on deck, boss. Here's what you got lined up over the next week and the next month. And here's the tasks that have been stale for a while. What do you think of these? You want to revisit them? And ended up realizing, though, after using that system for a few weeks, that it still doesn't match the way I work. And what I ended up doing is I found myself yesterday writing out the projects I was working on a piece of paper so that I could just track like which things am I working on. So because I found myself switching from one job to another. What I finally realized when I did that was, hey, you know what? I tend to switch from one job to another job to another job because I'll start working on task A and it'll have like each task in that list is made up of like 10 to 20 little subtasks. And each one of those might only take a few minutes, but some of them might take a few seconds, or some of them might get stalled and require an email back from somebody else, or a piece of software to process some things, or something else that I have no control over. And so all that stuff is bundled up within one task, and therefore that task looks too daunting and I don't do it. So what I realized was with that piece of paper, I thought, well, I can do a little bit on this task, and then I can write down if I get blocked by something, I can write down waiting for this person's email or waiting for this software to finish processing, waiting for Claude to finish writing this piece of code. And so when I realized that, I do this thing every day where I do a brain dump. If I'm out for a run, if I'm rowing my rowing machine, I have my earbud in my ear, and I'll just record a voice memo, and I'll be out for a run, and I'll be talking and just processing things. So, and then I take those and I take the transcript from them and I dump that into Claude Code, and I say, Claude Code has a running instruction for me that every time I do that, it's supposed to pull out anything really useful from it and put it into different buckets. Some of them create tasks from some of them are ideas that we'll use later, what have you. So Claude Code pulled this out and said, what you're describing here is a change to the way we should do this dashboard. And what I said in my brain dump was, I don't work by a schedule. I don't work by a to-do list. I work more like I'm spinning plates. Like there's all kinds of different plates. And any given day, I might have anywhere from 3 to 7 plates that I'm spinning. And I want to be able to go from one plate to another. I want to be able to say, this plate is waiting on this. And then when it's done, I can come back and spin it again. And this plate's waiting on this. And when that's done, I can come back and spin that again. But I don't have enough brain power to switch. There's that executive function idea. I can't hold all those things in my head. And I can't understand the context of what every one of those tasks is, that all the plates that I'm spinning and all the little blockers for every one. It takes too long to get up to speed on the context for every one. I just can't do it. So what I did today with Claude Code is I updated my Speakus dashboard where I said, look, I want every one of these tasks. This is just a plate that I'm currently spinning in this card here. This is my next up card. And each one of these is a plate that I'm currently spinning. And I want to be able to update a status in there, like the tracking chat, the Claude tracking chat is checking on this one. This one here, the Claude clients chat is working on this, and the tracking and content map chats are helping. This one here, the We Resume chat for Claude is doing this. This one here, this is happening. All different things waiting for different things, different chats from Claude, but some of these today moved back and forth to, I'm waiting for an app online to finish something. I'm waiting for someone to email me back, someone to give me a Slack message to answer my Slack message. All the blockers were right there. So I knew at a glance, this is where all of my spinning plates live. This is where the state that they're all in right now. I have my schedule over here on this side just to tell me at certain times of day I need to do certain things. And actually the Speakus dashboard here, when it's time to move from one task to another, it pops up a little window up in the center here with an orange writing that says it's time to go do this thing now. That is helpful because it's like, well, I'm not working anymore, I'm moving on. But my tasks here, all the blockers are there. And I was able to very quickly swap in and out and get so much more work done. This is exactly how my brain works. My brain works in terms of, yeah, I got to know what I'm going to be doing between 10 o'clock and 2 o'clock today. That's fine. I got to be able to see that at a glance. But I also got to be able to see all the plates I'm spinning at one time, what state they're in at any given time, where I need to go to move the next one. So I could just look at this and say, oh, yeah, tracking. Yeah. Oh, I see where that is. I think that's done. I'll go back and look at that. Oh, yeah, this discovered search updates. Yeah, I see where that's at. I see there's little one-off tasks in here too that I can do right away, but there's some bigger tasks in there. What you're looking at now is at the end of the day, there's plates that still need to be spun tomorrow, but there were double this number of plates on here this morning, and so many of those got finished. It was a massively productive day. I'd give it a 4.8 out of 5, and I'm super excited about it. It has increased my efficiency by 500%, and this is all thanks to AI and Claude Code.